Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another video on Salesforce Bolt. So, guys, this is going to be a video where I'll explain the implementation of RAG in Salesforce using a live example using Agentforce. So, we'll cover from basic to advanced level in this video. I'll first tell you what exactly the RAG is, how does this work in backend, and how you can actually use it in your environment or in your test scenarios. So if you are watching my channel first time, so just an FYI, I have already created two live implementation. One is on Data Cloud and another one is on Lightning Web Components. So if you're really interested in learning one of these, make sure to visit my YouTube channel, which is Salesforce Bolt, and the content is absolutely free to learn. So if you are interested in one of these technologies and want to learn more about it, there are two crash courses available for this. So please do check it out. So the index for today's video is going to be the overview, the scenario that we are going to use, what exactly the RAG is, how does this work in background, and then there will be a live project as well. So pretty, I would say, short and sweet scenario because there is nothing much to cover in RAG. It is pretty straightforward, a simple technology that gives you access to your structured and unstructured data and allow you to use it with your agent. We'll start with overview. So if you have been a viewer on my YouTube channel, you must be aware that in our previous crash course, which was on Data Cloud, we explored how Salesforce Data Cloud unified data from Right, Swift, Rental, and Adventure Cloud, helping the companies to create a single customer view. If you haven't watched that video, let me give you some insight on the previous video. So in previous video, we had two fictitious company. One was Right Swift Rental and the other one was Adventure Cloud. And there was an acquisition happening between Right Swift Rental and Adventure Cloud, where Adventure Cloud acquired the Right Swift Rental. So the Right Swift Rental was having its data in a separate server, and the Adventure Cloud had its data in Salesforce. And using Data Cloud, basically, we connected these two servers so that we can have a 360-degree view of a customer. And by doing that, we were able to see the data from Right Swift Rental to Adventure Cloud Salesforce environment in Data Cloud. Now we are taking a step further in the same example. So if you haven't been through that video, it's absolutely fine. We are not going to use Data Cloud here. It is going to be a pretty straightforward example that even if you're starting from scratch, even if you're watching this video first time, you would be able to make it, okay? So for this example, we still have Adventure Cloud, the fictitious company, a unified brand offering both vehicle rental and adventure experiences now because of the recent acquisition of the Right Swift Rentals. As the company grows, so does the complexity of its policies. Because the vehicle company, the Right Swift Rental, were having its own vehicle insurance policies, personal insurance policies, booking and cancellation was also there. Now, after the acquisition, Adventure Cloud finds it very difficult to distinguish between these policies because Adventure Cloud were also having similar policies. They were also having personal insurance, booking, cancellation, and few other terms and conditions and other policies. So challenge here is employee and customer often struggle to find these policies quickly across multiple PDF documents. And that's where RAG, Retrieval-Augmented Generation, is in Salesforce is going to help customers and their employees to find the data specific to their needs using Agentforce. So for those who don't know, I'll quickly start with a simple definition of RAG. So RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, a framework that helps AI systems generate accurate and context-aware responses by retrieving information from your own data. The data could be structured or unstructured formats. For example, it could be PDF, text, knowledge articles. It could be your data lake objects, your object. It could be anything, right? So in simple terms, instead of guessing, your agent reads your company's real documents to answer questions. So when user ask about insurance coverage or cancellation rule, the agent fetches the relevant section from an uploaded PDF. It is not going to fetch the whole PDF. It is going to fetch a specific section, which would be divided in chunks, which I'll be explaining in the next slide. Uh, it is going to fetch the specific section from a PDF, text, HTML, and craft an answer grounded in that specific context. I'll show you how it is going to work in backend. Before that, the scenario that we are trying to cover here is for Adventure Cloud or Go Adventure use case, we have to create a single intelligent policy assistant that can instantly answer questions related to insurance, vehicle, personal insurance, adventure trips, booking and cancellation policy, safety and refund guidelines, etc., etc. Of course, the goal is to empower customer and employees to find policy answer instantly, no searching through files, no outdated information. Now, to explain you how does RAG works in the background, I have created this mini flow here where it all starts with user asking a question. So for example, in this flow, as you can see, user is asking question, does personal insurance cover medical emergencies during a trek? So this question is related to insurance and a trek here, okay? So this is the next step. What the RAG is going to do, it is going to extract the text from PDF. So the policy PDFs, for example, adventure insurance.pdf, vehicle insurance.pdf, and so on, those will be uploaded in Agentforce data library. Then Salesforce automatically extracts readable text from PDF. It is going to remove unnecessary formatting and stores the extracted content securely for semantic search further. Then the next step is going to be chunking the content. So documents will be split into small but meaningful chunks. Typically, it is going to be 500 to 1,000 tokens, and each chunk will become a searchable unit. For example, let's say your document is containing information related to medical coverage and exclusion as well, like when the medical coverage will not be covering the specific thing. So Salesforce is going to divide the document into smaller chunks. Let's say it has created a chunk with a single line which says medical coverage include hospitalization up to 1 lakh rupees. And there could be another chunk, simple line from the document. Exclusion include self-inflicted injuries or negligence. So like these were two smaller chunks that we are assuming would be created by the RAG by Salesforce in backend. And the next step, it is going to do the embedding, or we can call it vectorization, where each chunk is converted into vector embedding. It is basically a numerical representation of its meaning. So for example, if we'll talk about the previous chunk, which was medical coverage includes hospitalization up to 1 lakh rupees. So it is going to be converted into a numerical representation of its meaning. For example, it could be 001, comma, 0.02, comma, 0.03, like that. And these embeddings are indexed in Salesforce managed vector store. Now, it's the next step. It is retrieval. When user asks a question, their query is also converted into a vector or embedding so that Salesforce can compare it to the stored embedding using semantic similarity and retrieve the most relevant chunks. So if we take the same example, there would be chunks divided from each PDF document. It would be divided into smaller chunks, and the query that user is having, that query itself is going to be divided into chunks. It would be vectorized basically. And then Salesforce is going to find the specific information using semantic similarities between the chunk that we are having, between the vector data for the PDF and the vectorization of your query as well. And accordingly, it is going to search for the specific thing. The next step is going to be a prompt creation. So the retrieved text is added as context before sending the query to LLM. So the text will be added as a context. For example, Salesforce may store specific context related to the insurance coverage. For example, the personal insurance plan include medical coverage up to 1 lakh rupees during the tracks. And it may also include the exclusion, for example, when the coverage will not be covered. And then there will be generation of the response that agent is going to show to user. So for example, the response here, as you can see, as per the adventure insurance policy, medical expenses up to 1 lakh rupees are covered during guided tracks, provided safety guidelines are followed. Okay. Now here, the LLM has generated a grounded response basically, and at the end, it will deliver the response to the customer, which is going to be accurate based on the data because it is your company's data, and it would be contextual based on the specific information asked about, and it would be auditable as well. So Salesforce will make sure in backend that it is not doing any kind of hallucination or it is not getting context from anywhere else. It has to be based on the data only provided by you. Okay. So that's how it is going to work in backend. That was the backend how the RAG is going to work. Now, I will start with a quick demo. So this is my Adventure Cloud environment where I'm having this application, which is having contact, adventure booking, and reports. Pretty basic stuff here. Now I'll create an agent and I will be then using a data library to give proper instructions to agent. Okay. So what you have to do is first you need to make sure that your Einstein setup is proper. So for that, what I'll do is so here I can see Agentforce data libraries are already there because I have enabled it. But if you will go to Einstein setup, if it is not turned on by default, you need to make sure that the Einstein is turned on. After that, only you will be able to see the Agentforce tab here. Okay. Now for me, as it is already on, I would be able to see the Agentforce Studio here, where you can create new agents. I am able to see Agentforce data library. If you're not able to see, you just need to make sure your Agentforce are enabled in your environment and Einstein is also enabled in your environment. Okay. Now for this specific demo, we have to create a new agent for this. But before that, let's go to Agentforce data library. And let's create a new library. So I have already created a few PDF documents that I'm going to upload here. So this is one of the existing library. Now what I'm going to do is Adventure Cloud Policies. Okay, now here I have created a new data library. Data types are you can have files, HTMLs, or custom retrievals as well. Here, as you can see, knowledge files, website, or custom retrieval. Okay. Now here I can upload the files. So I will get my files here. Okay, I cannot upload it like this. So I have to click here. And select my files. Okay, I'll hit open here. So it is going to get all the files here. So the files are being uploaded. So these are like pretty small files. Okay, it's done. I was just about to say like these are pretty small file. Not sure why it is taking so long, but it seems like it heard me already. Okay, looks good to me. Now let's move to the agent where we will be creating a new agent and then we will be uh, assigning some uh, guidelines to that agent so that it can give proper answers. Okay, so we'll go to Agentforce Studio, Agentforce Agent, and here you need to make sure that your Agentforce is also turned on. You can also turn on the default agent generated by Salesforce, default help agent, which is already enabled here. And there's a reason behind it. I'll tell you why. So for this specific demo, we'll create a new agent. So in this demo, I'm going to cover two things. While creating an agent, you can either create a prompt template to give your agents proper instruction, like what it is supposed to do, or you can configure these things in agent itself. Now, the prompt template can be used when your agent is having multiple stuff to do, so that you can simply link the prompt template with a specific action and just guide agent to use that specific action whenever agent is working. Or you have a scenario where you need reusability for the same thing. For example, there's a template and you need to reuse it at multiple places. It could be multiple agents as well. It could be buttons clicked, because prompt can be used in all these places, right? So in that case, also you can create a prompt template. Okay. So let's create with Gen AI. Now, what do you want your agent to do? So let's say I'm just providing some details like what my agent is supposed to do, some details for agent. So I'll say you are, and I will add role as well. Role is to answer questions about company policies, including vehicle insurance, adventure, booking, and cancellation, and maybe safety tips, safety, and in case of any compliance. Okay. So that's what my agent is going to do. I'll hit next. So policy assistant agent, role we have added, company name, let's say Adventure Cloud, company description, provides vehicle and adventure bookings. Okay. Now let's try to hit next. So all the data has been added here already. I will hit next. Now here's the option to select the data library, which is going to be the brain for your agent. So here I'm going to select Adventure Cloud policies. So in an agent, you can have, as you see, like I was only able to select one data library policy. The prompt template will also be useful. Let's say if your agent, if you don't want to restrict an agent based on a specific data library or based on a specific data available. Okay, so the agent is created. So I can see there are multiple topics already created. For example, adventure insurance guideline, booking policy, cancellation policy is already there, safety and compliance for vehicle insurance policy, and all these were created by AI because we selected the AI generated option here, right? And in data, you are able to see the files that I had uploaded are here now. I can also add more files here directly and keep track of my data library. What else is there? Let's see. Okay. So the agent is ready now, but we haven't specified, let's say, what would be the agent's tone, what would be the goal. I mean, the goal is pretty clear based on the role that agent is having, but still, we can provide all these things specifically. by going into each topic. Right now, it has already added all these things based on the AI understanding of what exactly I'm trying to do. But if you're customizing something, let's say you don't want to go by AI way, you can always add the tone. You can always add specific instruction. For example, if a question is not covered in the document, inform the user that it is outside your current knowledge scope. Or you can also mention, make sure your tone is helpful, professional, accurate, and grounded. And you can also add goal, what the agent is supposed to do. For example, in our case, it is going to be provide clear answers and references, relevant policy section. All right, now it's time to move to the demo. Now, if you're wondering if you still have to do some configuration in your agent, let me make it clear. Nope, it's ready. I know I took a little time to explain what RAG is compared to the time I took to build the agent. I mean, building agents are lightning fast. The only thing that is going to take time is to having the proper knowledge about what exactly you want to build and how exactly you're supposed to build it. Okay. So the agent is ready now. Now let's try to have some conversation with the agent. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to ask a question here. For example, what damages are covered under vehicle insurance? Now the question could be anything, but the answer is going to be based on the documents that we have uploaded. So for me, there are 4 documents that I have uploaded in the system, and based on the data available here in these documents only, agent is going to retrieve the data, ground the response, and then display it to the user. Okay. So let's say I'm trying this. Now it should show the response, getting answers. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the response here. The vehicle insurance policy typically cover accidental damages to the vehicle during the rental period. This include collision damage, accident that occur during normal uses, theft, and fire damage as well. And the coverage for accident damage is up to 2 lakh rupees. However, the damage caused by off-road use, racing, or reckless driving are not covered. So that's how your agent is going to return the response. And you can always give your feedback by clicking on the like and dislike uh, thumbs here. And in the center, as you can see, it has done some reasoning behind it, like what was the prompt, the instructions, what action it has taken, and based on that, how it has grounded the response and given the output. So that's how the agent is going to work using the RAG data. Okay. Now, this agent we have specifically created for this purpose, but what if you're having a help agent which is having multiple actions, and the action which is using RAG is going to be one of the actions that it is supposed to use? Or let's consider a scenario where you have a reusability. So you need to go via a prompt way. Okay, now let me show you the other way around how you can do the same using a prompt. So for that, you need to go to prompt builder first. And for this demo, I'm already having a prompt with the name of company policy. And here you can see the prompt. Your role is to answer questions about company policy, including vehicle insurance, adventure insurance, and so on. This is the question taken as an input here. And this is the knowledge article that I have attached, the same knowledge article name, company information that I have added here. Okay. So make sure the prompt is saved and activated before you're using it there. Okay. Now let me go back to my agents, which should be here. Yeah, here it is. So this is my default agent, which is already having a couple of actions. For example, it is having general CRM and single record summary already. So for this agent, I will be creating a new topic. What you want this topic to do, this is optional, so we will leave it. Now let's say uh, let's give it a name, official policy assistant. Now the description and all those things has to be given manually, but we can always use AI to enhance it. So I have description here copied. I'll just paste it and let me quickly copy it from here, paste it here. Let's see if AI can enhance it more. Okay, it says provided description is clear. No suggestions from AI. Now in instructions also, I'm going to add the same thing, like what is the role and what it is supposed to do. Hmm, okay, this is being pasted here. Now I will also add a line about the tone and the goal for this agent. So here it has been added. Example user input, let's take the same prompt. Okay, now hit next. Now from here, create topics or action that you want to include in your topic. So we don't have any action created. So I'll click finish and create a new action. I'll go official policy assistant, topic action. I'll create a new action. It is going to be a prompt template this time, company policy. Okay. Let's name it Adventure Cloud Company Policy. Okay. Adventure Cloud Company Policy, hit next. Answer customer question about Coral Cloud. I think this is default coming because I'm using the same environment. Adventure Cloud policies, loading tags, loading. Okay, an input question. We need to add instructions here. Let's add the instruction. How to format and use the input, what's the data type, input, and 18 digit. But this is the instruction for the input questions, actually. Sorry, my bad. User may ask questions using plain text about insurance, policies, etc. Prompt response, show in conversation. Let me hit finish. Okay, official policy assistant, classification description is here, scope is here. Topic detail and other instructions are also here. All right, let's try to have demo how this agent is going to work using prompt in backend. So maybe we can use the same prompts here that we used last time. So let's say what damages are covered under vehicle insurance. And let's see what agent is going to return here. So in this case, also agent is going to read through the same documents and going to return the data, but all this is happening using a prompt. In backend, still the same RAG is there. And using the chunks created and vectorization, it has returned the response that the vehicle return policy covers accidental damage. It has given us the amount as well, 2 lakh rupees. And it has also mentioned exclusion. For example, damage resulting from off-road uses, racing, or reckless driving are not covered. And customer required to file a complaint in 48 hours of the incident, and deductible of 5,000 applies to all the claims. So that's how agent is going to return all the relevant data based on the PDF documents uploaded in the system. Let's try to have another prompt here. Let's say if we need information related to personal insurance. So does personal insurance cover medical emergencies? Let's try to have this prompt and let's see what agent is going to reply based on it. So now the agent is going to look for the personal insurance document based on the company data and going to return the result. Okay, here as you can see, the result are here. The adventure insurance policy cover medical expense up to 1 lakh rupees for injuries sustained during company organized adventure. It has also mentioned some other details which may be relevant to the user's prompt and may help user to get whatever he is looking for. So yeah, I mean, that's how the agent is going to return the data and that's how it is going to work in backend. Now it's completely up to you how exactly you want to use it, how exactly you want to build your agent. Now, if you need a quick read guide for this specific demo, I'll be uploading it on my blog, which is salesforcepool.com. So if you don't have time to watch the complete video, you can simply go to my blog, which is salesforcepool.com, and read about it. I'll be posting a blog post about it soon. So I believe that it is for today, guys. So if you like today's video, make sure to hit subscribe on the channel if you're new on the channel. And if you're not new on the channel, make sure you're sharing it with your friends, colleague, in your company, in your circle, wherever you can. So that it is for today, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.